Hello, everybody. Welcome to a great episode yet again of C Square Lounge, where we talk all things business, women, childcare, family, and anything else that comes up, of course. I am your host, Joyia Henry, and today I have my amazing friend, Miss Christina Graham. Miss Christina, can you please tell the people about you? Pop your stuff a little bit so they can understand why they need to listen to you on this podcast.
I got you. My name is Christina Graham. I am a multi-center owner. I have been in the childcare field for over 20 years and have owned my own center for now 7 years. And how much experience I have. So there's a whole lot of experience that comes up that I have as far as childcare, being an owner, being a boss, and I'm ready to share it with the world.
Well, let's do it. You ready for your topic?
I'm ready, girl. What is it?
All right. You can't put my child out of school. It's daycare.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
So in this episode, I want us to shed some light on why we put children out of daycare.
Okay.
And two ways. Why we put them out, what will make us put them out, why we put them out, and how it's beneficial for us.
Okay.
All right. I just said a lot. Let me do it again.
You did.
All right. What will make us put a child out?
Mm-hmm.
And why? Why did it matter if we put them out of our center?
Okay.
Tell me about it.
So what would make us put a child out?
Yes.
Parents are not cooperating with us and trying to resolve issues. Parents being in denial, and some babies just being a straight up liability, and we can't do it no more.
Okay.
Teachers being stressed.
Okay.
So it's a whole lot.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So when you say parents are not cooperating, can you share with us what you mean by that?
So I'll give an example as far as children with behavior. So behaviors aren't the only reason that we put children out, but let's say we have a child that has behaviors. And that child with behaviors, we've noticed it, we've assessed the child as far as our observation, and then we go back to the parents and we let them know what we've seen. Yes. We talk to them on multiple occasions. Yes. And make suggestions, requesting that they assist us on the home front with these behaviors within the classroom. Okay. And we have parents who say, oh, well, I don't see that at home, or I don't know what to do. He just like his brother. He get this from his daddy, or she, her cousin, she's with her cousins. And that's where she gets it from. And so instead of the parents coming up with solutions, they're playing the blame game. Okay. And so then we never come to a solution, and the behavior just gets worse and worse and worse.
Okay. So that makes sense. I can understand challenging behaviors. Mm-hmm. Now, outside of, and we're going to come back to that, outside of challenging behaviors and the parents not taking the behavior serious, are there any other reasons why we would terminate a child or a family from our center?
If we don't have the resources or the ability to actually give that child the quality care that we know we can give to all of our children. Okay. We don't have the proper training. We don't have the proper staffing in order to be able to do so. And we're more concerned about that child getting 100% of what they need versus being able to get those funds that they think we just want for the kid.
Absolutely. So let's get real for a second.
Okay.
You just said that, or maybe we don't have the training. What I want to share is there is a common misconception that as a childcare professional, we should be equipped to handle everything. Mm-hmm. And that not having the proper training on something is bad. Mm-hmm. Why are you not trained on that? And so what I kind of want to shed light on, and you can kind of chime in too, is we have doctors, mm-hmm. but you have a pediatrician, mm-hmm. you have a gynecologist, mm-hmm. you have a neurologist, ophthalmologist. You know, you got all of these things. They're all doctors, but they have their own specialty. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of want to bring to the forefront that we are all childcare professionals, but we have our own specialty. And we may not be a good fit for everybody.
Right.
Some of our schools are STEM-based. They are play-based. Some, we have a good friend named Leslie who has a full inclusion center. So mm-hmm. what would you say, or how would you sum this up to a parent when they are offended by you saying, well, I don't have the training or I'm not equipped to help your child?
So I let all of my parents know if we don't have the proper training. So number one, it's a part of my orientation.
Okay.
When they first come in, you're gonna get a 2-week trial. Yes, it's a paid 2-week trial. However, you're gonna get a 2-week trial, and during that 2-week trial, we're gonna see if we are fit for each other. If your child fits with our program, if we fit for you, and if not, then you get scot free. There's no responsibility, whatever. But in that time, I let them know if we find that we are not able to meet your needs, we'll help you find resources, or at least point you in the direction of resources that can meet your needs. I've had that conversation several times because we observe the children when they come in. And I quite honestly have had somebody to tell me before, yeah, you can't take that kid, just based off of their tour. And I used my better judgment and went on and took the child. And what I noticed was the behavior wasn't about that individual child completely. What we were seeing is because that child was with mom.
Wow.
And because that child was with mom, they were doing all these extra things because they knew mom would get away with it. But in the classroom setting,
it wasn't the same.
It was toned down. Now, we still see some of the characteristics, but it was a lot more toned down. And so I took that chance and said, we're going to see how it goes. But I also went on to let mom know that if we're not a fit for you, then we'll help you find another resource.
And so sometimes it works out even when you take that risk and that chance. So that brings me to my next question. We are in the business of children. Children is how our business run. Children is how we pay our staff. Children is how we provide for our own families. So why is it that you think when we bring certain behaviors up, or if we have to terminate care for a child, parents think that we are nitpicking with their kid when we're actually losing money? Oh, we're losing, and we're in the business of kids. Right. So why?
So a part of it is everybody. I think it's a natural thing. Everybody wants to
point the
finger, blame game, and they may come and they may take a sneak peek in the classroom before their child comes out, and they see, well, Johnny over there got this same behavior, or Sally over there doing this and doing that, but they don't realize that Johnny and Sally weren't doing that before your baby came in this building and started doing it. And so they feel like we're nitpicking because from the outsider view, they see this one doing that one doing this.
So why you picking on
my kid? Okay. Why that kid's still here? Why that kid's still here?
Okay.
But they don't understand that concept of children do what they see and observe, and when they see that somebody else is doing it, oh, let me try.
Yes. And I also think that is something that parents don't consider because they don't have to. They're not childcare professionals. They're not in the classroom. So it may seem very minute from the outside looking in, but if we have a classroom of 15 2-year-olds, and then we have with one child who is climbing on tables, jumping off furniture, throwing things, over time, what happens?
Everybody think they can climb, they can jump, they can throw, all of them.
Yeah. And so that leads me to this. What are the benefits? Now, of course, when we have to terminate care, we lose funds. But what are the benefits? Share with them why do we have to do this? What are the benefits of putting out the child? How could it help your school?
You want me to talk about the sleepless nights first, or do you want me to talk about inside the building?
Whatever speaks to your heart. Speak to my heart, Lord. Speak to me.
Let's start with the sleepless nights. So for us as owners and childcare providers, it is hard to have those conversations with parents because we know that is your perfect angel.
Yes.
And so it's hard to have conversations with the parents. But so we sitting here trying to figure out what's the best way for me to say this. Ooh, I can't say this. We all rehearse those conversations.
I don't feel like getting cussed out.
Listen, do I need to call the police?
I'm going to call state on you. Everybody want to call the police. Everybody want to call state.
Do I need to call the police before I talk to this person?
Yes.
Do I need to have somebody else standing in the office with me?
Should I just email it?
Ooh.
So all these thoughts go in your head.
And then I could just block you from being able to get in my building. But we don't do that.
But why do we have that fear though?
Because we've had that experience, or somebody that we know has had that experience.
Yes.
And so that's a part of the sleepless nights.
Okay.
But then we genuinely care about these babies.
Absolutely.
And so we're trying to figure out, I'm guilty of it. What can I do? Well, maybe I didn't do this. Maybe I didn't do that. Maybe I didn't teach my staff well enough for them to be able to handle this. Maybe I didn't, maybe I. But this ain't my baby.
Yeah.
So
the parent should be saying, well, maybe let me but ultimately it be us saying, and I'm not saying that parents don't.
No, not saying that at all.
Because some parents do. What I'm saying is, and I'm agreeing with you, that we do have these conversations in our heads, losing sleep before we actually have the conversation.
For
weeks. This don't be like a one day thing. Okay, so
you continue with the benefits.
Okay, benefits.
So number one, I finally can get to sleep.
You finally can sleep.
But then when we go inside of the building, the benefits is we can mitigate those behaviors from kids who weren't ever doing it before.
Yes.
The teachers are not stressed.
Yes.
People talk about turnover with teaching, but do y'all understand these teachers
turn
over because we continuously put up with these same behaviors.
Yes.
And it's not that we don't want to help take care of the babies, but we continuously put up these same behaviors. But the teacher stress levels go down, the atmosphere completely changes,
yes.
the children even change.
Yes.
Like it's a benefit because do you want one that you've gotten rid of or run the risk of losing three, especially if that behavior is physical to other kids?
Absolutely.
You ain't gonna take but so much of somebody putting their hands on your baby,
biting
their
mouth
your on your baby. You're not gonna take but so much of it.
Absolutely.
Like, yes, it is developmentally appropriate at certain ages,
but
at the same time, it's not acceptable.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like how many times? No lie, I had a child that literally, the child was a biter. And went after the same little light-skinned pretty girl every single day. When I tell you that mama was like, why he keep attacking my baby?
Wow.
Why he keep attacking my baby? And I mean, they were a year and a half, 2 years old. At a year and a half, when people say all the time, oh, they know better. They're children. They don't know better. We as adults are there to teach them. So no, suspending kids, and I know I'm jumping a little bit, but we don't suspend them as a punishment for the kid because the kid don't know no different.
Okay.
It's so that the adult understands like we need to do something.
Yes.
Before this gets out of hand. So the
suspension is for the parents.
It's for the parents. It's not for the children.
Let me bring it back to the benefit.
Mm-hmm.
So the benefit is you get to go to sleep because you had sleepless nights.
Yes.
The classroom
management
is
a
better.
Whole lot better.
You get to retain your teachers because teachers are human and they get burnt out and they get tired of dealing with the behaviors. But how about something that many people don't consider? When we terminate care, it also saves us from legal challenges. Joyia, what you mean by that? Ask me. Like, Joyia,
what you mean, girl?
What you mean? So what people don't understand is when a kid is continuously, let's just use biting for an example. When they're continuously biting, when the parents are mad, they aren't mad at the child that is biting because we are not at liberty of saying who bit the kid. So while we are protecting your child, we are also being punished and ridiculed and cursed out. And then parents want to call the state on you as if you are the one that bit the kid.
Baby, I don't want to put my mouth on that baby at all.
And then not only that, when you have parents that want to sue because of someone else's child behavior, your child have now become a liability. And so at first, our children are an asset to our business. But when you are continuously harming other children, you become a liability. And so I'm going to put in my 2 cents. As a childcare owner, a multi-center owner, one of the benefits of dismissing the child promptly is saving ourselves from legal issues that are unnecessary, that I cannot control, I cannot help. I did not whisper in that toddler ear and say, open your mouth and bite so-and-so. So legal allegations.
So the other part I would say is not only are we protecting ourselves, technically we protecting the parent of the
other kid.
Because guess what?
And the other kid need protection too.
Yes, we have protection. Most of us do. If you don't, we got to get it.
Yes.
But at the same time, if that parent is coming after us and they can't get nothing from us, now they coming after that parent of the child who was doing the biting or the physical harm. So we protect them both. Our entity and yours at the same time.
And we are protecting the kids that are getting hurt.
That's the most important
part. That's the most important part.
Like protecting them babies.
Because I'm not getting bit. Or as a teacher in the classroom, I'm not the one
not
getting
regularly anyway.
right, not regularly. I'm not the one getting chairs tossed at me because the kids do toss
chairs, books, toys, rocks, other kids. I mean,
so we're protecting the culture of the business and the classroom,
right? And I know we laughing, but like it's because we've experienced it all. But it's like all the time. Yes. And I just say, imagine, could you do this? Parents come in my building all the time, but like, I don't know how y'all do this. Thank you. So when we need to have a conversation with you, I hope
remember what you said. God. It's not. It's truly not easy. But I absolutely love it, and I wouldn't change it for nothing in the world. And so, although we bring up these various topics on this podcast, it's never to complain. It's literally giving us a platform to shed light, because outside of this, parents don't know.
And it's not a conversation that we can have with even friends.
Yes, like they don't understand.
So my CEO folks, you got to find your circle.
Yes,
because you can't have this conversation with your best friend who is working for that Fortune 500 company. We ain't even gonna go low.
Yes,
you can't have this conversation with your college roommate who is teaching in the classroom. Now they may understand some parts of dealing with the children, but they still don't understand it from the CEO perspective. So you got to find you a circle.
Yes,
of people who actually understand what it is that you are going through and dealing with. Because otherwise they're like, I don't know why you still doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Couldn't be me.
Crazy. Couldn't be me.
It ain't even worth all that headache. Yes, it is.
But it is when the same person who said it ain't worth that headache need to find somewhere for their child to go for them to go to work.
And when it's your actual passion. Like, we genuinely love what we do. I know some people think that, yet again, we're in it for the money, but for the amount of headache and sleepless nights that we have,
baby, listen,
it's definitely passion.
My degree.
Multiple degrees, did you say?
Multiple.
Thank you. Okay. Absolutely. So, the overall point, guys, of this episode is to really help you all understand the struggles of not just childcare owners, but the other parents that we have to talk to, whether it is the parent of the kid that is being harmed, or the parent of the child that is doing the harming. Also helping you understand from a teacher's perspective how it can affect the flow of their classroom. And on top of that, with the little cherry, just letting you know that behaviors or parents' behaviors, because parents misbehave as well and they're very disrespectful. We literally face legal challenges if we keep certain people or families in our business. We love you guys. We hope that this was very insightful and very educational. Before we close out, what is one thing that you would like to tell a parent, and then one thing you'd like to tell an aspiring childcare CEO before leaving?
So the one thing I would like to tell a parent, in all of this conversation that we're having, understand that at the end of the day, it is about the best interest of your child. And we have the ability to say, we might not be a fit. We might not be the best place for your child. And I want you to take that as a nugget, a golden nugget, an opportunity versus a challenge.
Yes.
As CEOs, you're doing this out of your heart. I understand that, but don't let your heart put you out of what it is that you want to be doing. Don't let your heart running you in the ground. Don't let your heart cause you to lose money. Don't let your heart put your house in foreclosure. Don't let your heart lose your family.
Wow.
So yes, you're doing this with your heart, but still remember that you are an individual outside of that business, and you have to take care of your life outside of that business.
So can we put that kid out of daycare?
We sure can.
I thank you guys for tuning in for another episode. I look forward to seeing you guys at the next episode. This is your girl, Joyia Henry, and your host for the C Square Lounge.